and welcome to Game 3 of the White Walker deck tournament with me, Rebecca Walker, joined as always by Richard Walker.
Hello.
Hello. And so we've been doing this tournament then where we had 16 of our viewers submitting decks to us, and we have 2 from each faction. Each of these were then split into bracket 1 or bracket 2 completely randomly, so and then randomly matched up together. So, you know, we've not sort of deliberately put anyone together or anything. It's all completely random and then randomly assigned to either myself or Richard to play. And basically the idea was to see, you know, whose decks were like really easy to pick up and play, whose were a bit more difficult. We're going to look at the decks at the end to look at pros and cons and decide, you know, what we would sort of like to change about the decks, what we really like about the decks. We've had 2 games already. We've had the Stark and the Tug game, and we've had the Greyjoy and the Barra game. So this game is going to be the Martell Dragon versus Lanni Hollow Hill. Martell Dragon submitted by Connor Hardie, and Lanni Hollow Hill submitted by Paul Geddes. So Paul's deck actually made the final of the previous deck tournament. So if you're interested in... A different deck, yeah, to clarify. So if you're interested in seeing the previous deck tournament, if you look back at the channel, you should be able to find those games. So Martell Dragon versus Lanni Hollow Hill, have you got any sort of... who would you say normally would be good at this, in this matchup?
Martell?
Yeah?
Yeah. They are bastard daughter. They don't mind things dying a lot of the time. And I feel like Martell probably ambush onto the board more consistently than Lanni Clansman Hollow Hill.
Yeah?
Which is what the deck is, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's Clansman deck, isn't it? Should we just take a look at that Martell deck?
The Martell deck!
Martell deck. Martell deck even. So the Martell deck then, just run through the plots. We have At the Gates, Counting Coppers, 2 March to the Wall, Valar D, Valar M, and Win or Die. That is a nasty looking matchup there.
Yeah, you can see it's designed to keep the board small and to put its own characters in the discard pile for synergies with Flea Bottom and Unexpected Return. Also Dance of Dragons, the Targaryen event, to recur a low cost non-event to hand also. Yeah,
you've got the Unexpected Return too. So, you know, if you do have to march a big character for whatever reason, you can grab them back. And obviously as well, if anything gets lost from hand that you need, you can grab it back with the Unexpected Return.
Well, you could literally discard it with Plaza of Pride to stand something like a Dario 7 cost and then get him back for 5.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, it's a really good idea. Just chuck the big ones. Are there many big characters in there?
No. No, there's Dario, that's it for big characters, but there are some characters with good entered play effect that you might want to use again. So for example, Starfall Cavalry, if there's more than 3 plots in your used plot pile, you can draw 3 cards with them, march them if you don't need them another round, and then Unexpected Return them again to draw another 3 cards.
You can use it with Aegon, so if you've played Aegon out of Shadows and gone and grabbed something, next turn you could march him off and then bring him back with an Unexpected Return, and he will trip again.
In fact, a lot of the things work with Unexpected Return. Arianne, you can bring her back in and then trigger her to bring her back to hand and put something into play. Arya Hotar triggers, Dornish Spy triggers. There's a lot of synergies with these Targaryen cards, with the Martell card we have.
We do have in the locations then 3 lots of Flea Bottom. So this is our restricted card. So Flea Bottom working really, really well with a lot of those characters. So we've got things like Arya Hotar. Again, like we say, if he gets discarded from hand for whatever reason, you can bring him in using Flea Bottom. Things like the Dornish Spies. You've got the Quaith of the Shadow. Could be an interesting one to pull in. Second Sons, of course, are really nice because they just sort of discard themselves and you can bring them back. Because they discard themselves before they go to the bottom of the pile, don't they? Yeah, so they're nice ones to bring back as well. Yeah, I mean, I think there's lots of nice synergies in this deck.
I've seen a lot of decks that run Flea Bottom as restricted, but not as well catered to as this deck. This deck is definitely perfectly set up to use that restricted card.
The Water Gardens as well, I think, is a nice addition because there's 2 Unexpected Return, right? So you're probably not going to see them until slightly later. So if you've got a Water Gardens out, and you're sort of through a few plots already, that will help you to reduce the cost of what is normally a very expensive event, to make it, a lot more manageable, basically.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Also helps you to get your venomous blades in, I guess, if you're ambushing.
Yes.
So, the water gardens work quite nicely with a couple of the things that you might see later. Starfall, always good, bit of icon control, and you've got the Nymeria as well for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of icon control and challenge-based control as well. So you've got Shadow City Bastard, like you say, you've got Dornish Spy, you have the Starfall, but you've also got Southern Messenger to take advantage of the lost icon, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, and of course there's 3 times Dawn. Dawn's always a great card to have as a Martell player. You're expecting to lose a few challenges, and Dawn is just a really nice, consistent way to draw cards.
Yeah, I really like this deck. I think it's really well thought out. And although it's not something you regularly see in tournaments, Martell the Dragon, I think it could be really good in some matchup.
Cool.
I don't think it's bad at all.
Should we have a look at the Lanni deck?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can see then that Paul has submitted a Lanni Hollow Hill deck, which is based on Clansman, which I really like the sound of. I was a little bit sad that Richard got to play it because I like Lanni decks. Now, one thing immediately that I'm noticing here is where the hell are the power icons?
The power icons in this deck are derived almost completely from Mountains of the Moon. That is one of the most important cards in this deck. Okay.
So I can see Mountains of the Moon is a 3 of. But if you don't see it, I guess that's going to be a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
What power icons do we even have? You've got Pycelle's got a power icon.
Yeah, you've got
Painted
Pycelle.
Dogs?
No.
No.
You've got Pycelle, you've got Timmet, Tyrion, and...
The Hound.
Yes.
Okay, so, the ones that you've got are mostly relatively big power icons at least. But yeah, it's not very many. But as you say, you do have that Mountains of the Moon that will sort of supplement that.
Yeah, so I guess this deck is designed to jump on the board. It doesn't need to start the round with characters. Hence the thought behind the Hollow Hill, which gives you basically 3 gold darting setup plus initiative and reserve. So siege preparation fits nicely there, along with the board clear plots. Fallen from Favour is a good opener. March to the Wall, Valar Morghulis and First Now, all designed to sort of clear the board a bit.
Yeah.
You've got a pressure plot and you win or you die. And Counter Copper because Clansmen run out of cards real quick.
Siege preparations as well for that card draw.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's, like I say, there's a couple of draw kind of plots there. Fallen from Favour, I think, is pretty much going to be your opener every time, right? Why would you play anything else?
It could be. If your opponent sets up 4 chuds, then First Snow is not a bad way to start.
Also true.
If they're going to play at the gates, they're going to start with maybe 6-7 gold, and you will also start with 6-7 gold.
So what do you think about the event package?
Okay. I'm not sure. It seems... Now, the thing with Clansman, right, is when I've played it before, I've ended up having lots of things like events in hand and no way to trigger some of them. Like Put to the Sword, seems like you would trigger it fairly easily. Yet sometimes you draw that instead of things that you need to impact the board. Now, there's only 32 characters, which means half your deck is going to be stuff you can't jump onto the board.
Yeah.
So I would rather minimise events as much as possible, and I will probably want to run 35, 36 characters just to maximise my chance of having characters and doing things on the board.
Okay.
But
do you think that should come from the events or from the locations? Because there's quite a few locations in there, and there are a few that you maybe wouldn't normally see in a Clanny deck.
Yeah, such as?
Or like Cersei's Wheelhouse. Like, what does that actually do?
Okay, so the Knights of the Hollow Hill agenda means that you're going to get +3 every round. So you can eliminate all of the locations which have gold modifiers on them.
Yeah.
Because you've already got +3 gold. But it does allow you to run other locations, but you still need some economy. And Cersei's Wheelhouse is when you are made the first player, gain a gold or draw a card. So another way of giving you either economy or card draw for going first, which you want to do a lot of the time. So that's quite nice. It does give you a -1 initiative, which you balanced out with the agenda as well. But of course, we've got Harrenhal's Lion Star, which both jump characters into play. Along with him, you roar.
Yeah.
So that gives you, a tempo boost. So hopefully you win the challenge. And I guess the key of it, everyone knows that you want to be playing the Tyrion. So you can jump in your Clansman, bring them back to hand, increase claim, draw a card, get gold, whatever you need to do at that time. And you've also got Tower of the Hand, which is, it's an interesting addition. I think it's nice because you can jump in a Clansman, give them a green icon if they don't have one with the Mountains of the Moon, do your challenge. For example, if you jump in Timit, win the challenge, trigger Timit, kill a character, trigger Tower of the Hand, return another one of their characters back to hand.
How do you feel about the lay waste in the deck?
I can see why it might backfire in terms of if you lay waste their location, they might go and get a milk for your Tyrion. But then if you have a milk on your Tyrion, you can play lay waste on it and they have to get rid of it.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm also a little bit unsure about the Ironbank or Habit Stew. You do have 3 lots of Moon Brothers, which normally involve you needing to near your faction cards to put them into play. So the one Ironbank, although I like Ironbank or Habit Stew in the Clansman, I don't know, I'm really torn whether I'd want more or less Ironbank, to be honest. I feel like Ironbank or Habit Stew is really nice in a clanny deck to help you just keep getting more and more gold and stuff like that so you can carry on doing your tricks.
So why wouldn't you want it?
I don't know, because you've got the 3 Moon Brothers, it's getting that balance.
I think 4 faction nil is absolutely fine.
Yeah?
Because, 4 cards, you're never going to want to play 2 of those in one given round, really.
No, I guess not.
I think a maximum for faction nils is, I played a Baratheon deck with loads of faction nils, with Ironbank, with Selyse, things like that. And I think in the name of your king, I think I ran 8.
Yeah.
In the deck out worlds.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but you only need 1 every given round, and you only have normally 2 in hand at one time.
I feel like almost I'd want 2 Moon Brother and 2 Ironbank, if anything, because the Ironbank gives me a little bit more options, whereas Moon Brothers, you need to have something on the board already participating to be able to chuck them in to help.
I think Moon Brothers are really important to a Clansman deck.
Okay.
And there should be 3 of.
Okay.
Because they're the ones you can just jump in every round if Tyrion's on the board and bring them back to hand to increase your claim. Yeah. So I think they're quite important.
So getting Tyrion out early, you think, is one of the more important things for this deck then?
If you can get him out, the deck will shine better. I do think maybe there's too many locations. There's 3 Tower of the Hand. I would maybe run 1 because it's nice to have, but you need to be set up. You need to be ready to use it and be able to use it. And that's not going to be the case in every game. So you don't always want it 3 of. In this particular style of deck, I think.
Yeah, I think 2 would be fine, and I guess I'd be willing to go down to 1 as well. But so basically, it looks like a pretty good sort of standard kind of Clansman deck. A few extra cards that maybe we'd change, but we can talk about it after the game.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe it's not optimised. We can see how it goes. Yeah.
So let's have a look at the actual game then. Okay, so you don't get a setup because you've got Hollow Hill. And I'm going for a Rose Road. Wow, okay. Rose Road, Starfall, Flea Bottom, and Summersea Port with a Shadow City Bastard. That's a nice setup.
That's a great setup.
That's great. What have you got in hand? Mountain, Tower, Fiefdoms, King's Road. I think it's all Gunther.
Yeah. So your setup is basically the same as my agenda. So you've got +2 gold now. Except you've got a Flea Bottom, a Starfall, and a Shadow City Bastard. So.
And quite a nice hand as well, by the looks of it.
Yeah, very useful. You've got a Dawn there, which is great. Another economy. So you can play to your strength. You want to keep the board small. The board is small because a smaller board means that you can use your Starfall a lot better. And I think that's going to really hurt the Clansman deck because they need their icons.
Yeah, and the fact that I've already got Starfall and a Shadow City Bastard, so we know that not Moon Brothers specifically, we know that Clansmen tend to only be monocons with the military icons, and obviously don't have Mountains and Moon out yet, so it should be quite easy for me to control them as they come in and out. I noticed that I also had an extra Flea Bottom in hand. If you're playing Clansmen, it's unlikely you're playing PD, so I feel quite comfortable in just spreading out my locations. I'm pretty sure I just drew back up into that Flea Bottom, otherwise I would have duped it. But now it's in hand, I can just use that as claim soak as needed.
Yeah, put to the torch is something that might be in Clansman. So you might want to play around that if I can win a military by 5, but...
Yeah, I mean, you've got the lay waste, obviously, but I didn't know that at the time.
I like the English spelling of your fallen from favour.
Oh.
Very nice.
Well, got to spell things properly, don't we? So I played at the gates, because I obviously don't have enough economy yet, into your fallen from favour.
I was considering playing First Snow here to limit your ability to populate the board with chuds. And so I could effectively use my ambush more from the board, but I was a little concerned with how much economy you'd set up. Begging brother!
Oops. You didn't see anything. No. Thank you, laptop, for that notification.
I would not like to set up Office on this PC right now.
I already have Office on this PC. So I've gone and got up to Gates of the Moon. I just figure, why not, right? You've got extra economy anyway. Now I've got the same extra economy as you've got.
Yep. Yeah. That's disappointing, because you've also got Starfall, Flea Bottom.
Ooh, a bit of control. Bastard Daughter and a Dornish Spy there.
Bastard Daughter pretty nice, because I won't want to kill that and attack my own hand.
I do like Bastard Daughters in Martell. They really do put off the military challenges.
I do like Bastard Daughters, Richard.
So we've got Dawn out. I think getting Dawn out as early as possible is the best way to go. Got so many locations. I don't like having... I like trying to sort out my locations to optimise. Like econ at the bottom and card drawer. I don't need to kneel. These 2 kneel so they can go on the top row.
Wow. Next level thinking. Oh look, and you moved on already.
Well, yeah, it's put the econ together.
Of course. But you haven't put the econ together in order.
Shh.
So that disappoints me somewhat.
I mean, you just give me too many locations now. It's just like...
Yeah. So your deck's really good at creating the small board with the lots of resets and the march to the wall. So it makes sense that you're playing out your locations now, because every time you make a reset, it gives you an advantage.
Yeah, is my thought. And you've also got things like, I don't mind if my Shadow City Bastard or my Bastard Daughter dies, really. But I don't know, I'm really happy with this. This is like turn 1. Look at this. It's great.
This is exactly why I probably should have played First Snow.
Yeah. I mean, if you played First Snow, Shadow City Bastard does have ambush, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So I could have always ambushed them in if I wanted to get a challenge through. Is that Cersei's Wheelhouse?
No, that's Lion Star.
Oh, that's Lion Star.
Yeah, so you put in a character into play of printed cost 4 or lower. At the end of the phase, if they're still in play, you discard them.
That seems good.
It's good. Really good with the Hound, which is only 2 of. I think I might like to have seen it as 3 of.
Painted Dogs as well.
Painted Dogs are good.
I like Painted Dogs. They're a good card. You put your Tower of the Hand out as well.
Because they can bring themselves back to hand even if there are no other targets.
Do they have an intrigue icon?
Yes.
Yeah. And they're 4 cost, right?
Correct.
So you saved a lot of gold, which could be worrying, but I'm not actually that worried because I figure, like, whatever you put out, I'm just going to stop you from having any icons.
You know what? In hand, I have Hear Me Roar and Gregor.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that's not going to work. I don't believe I have any power icons in my hand.
Wonderful.
From memory, I think I have a Burned Man, maybe a Black Ears.
Yeah, I think I spotted a Black Ears in there.
Military Monocons.
A Black Ears the one that you pay 2 to put them in?
Yeah, if something dies.
That's Gunther, right?
Gunther is the only card I have in my hand with an intrigue icon. I have nothing with a power icon at this point.
So basically your hand now is just all monocon militaries.
Yeah, it doesn't help against Starfall.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything.
And you don't necessarily care about military challenge because of Bastard Daughter and Dawn. So, yeah, this is not great for me turn 1.
No, but you can First Snow maybe next turn.
Yeah.
And just sort of make it a bit more difficult for me.
Yep.
I mean, I know I've got the Shadow City Bastard, but that's not that exciting if you manage to get out a few bigger ones. So I found it very interesting that you decided to put out the character here. I've initiated a military of the bastard daughter. Were you trying to bait me into removing their icon?
Yeah.
Why?
So that way I can put in something else on my hand, like the mountain with Hear Me Roar, and you've already used your Staff Wall, and you can't Shadow City Bastard it.
Okay.
So that way, maybe I could get a kill. You seem to have lots of 2-cost characters on the board. You might have lots of 2-cost characters in the deck.
So I didn't mind you defending it, because I kind of thought maybe you were trying to bait me, because you did still have 7 gold.
Yeah, I have no way of...
And I got a choice of another Shadow City Bastard or a...
That would have been a great mountain
Crave.
pillage.
I know, right? So I think I went for the Shadow City Bastard and put the Quaith back.
God damn it, that glare was bad.
Yeah, I mean, I did say to you...
Why do you insist on recording during the day, Rebecca?
Because the light is a lot better. Everything looks really yellowy if we record at night.
Okay.
So you played your one of I'm Bank Will Have Its Due.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose them really because characters are a premium.
And these were the ones that you put in with Lion Star, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you decided to just bring them back to hand. You've not played out anything else, just one dom instead.
There's no point in jumping in the mountain because you've removed the icon. I was hoping that you would remove the Black Ears icon so I could do something. But no.
Does that mean I outwitted you?
You haven't outwitted me yet.
But I didn't fall for your trap.
It's true. You may have won this particular battle.
Woohoo!
But you may not win the war.
I don't know, we'll see. There's plenty of games to go. We've got like 15 games in total in this tournament.
There's only one war between Martell Dragon and Lanni Hollow Hill.
And I'm going to win.
Alright,
Maybe.
calm down. So, yeah.
Great minds, honey. Great minds.
I decide I don't have enough in hand to make a first no turn worth it. Especially with my Monocon Gregor, Monocon Black Ears, and Burned Men.
I decide that I've got shitloads of economy in cool locations, so I can afford to do a coppers.
Oh, Richard.
I did tell you about the glare. I told you where to hold it, and you ignored me. See, that's
that
where
was
you
in the
gotta hold
game
it.
after this, Rebecca.
That one.
And your cards are literally facing the other way, not with the sun behind them.
Don't know what you're on about. So I've got an aGoT, Donish Fiefdom, Plaza Pride, a bit more economy.
It's worth pointing out, viewers, that the one time Rebecca showed me how to hold the cards out to the camera. So I held my cards out to the camera, and then she tried to look through the camera lens to see how it looked, looking at my hand.
I was just like, oh, I'm just going to check the battery.
Oh yeah, and check my hand out too.
Not quite twigging the fact that that would also mean that I was looking at the camera where you were showing your hand.
Absolute plonker.
Well, I think it's quite well established that I am a bit of a dork.
I think that is well established.
Yeah.
Oh look, now
so,
you're actually doing the location the proper way.
I know, it's like I've got so many locations here. Like I don't like stacking locations up on top of each other if they're not, a dupe. But I think Rose Roads are okay. They're still pretty clear what they are.
Yeah, but you still got them in cost order wrong, like 0 cost, 2 cost, 1 cost.
That doesn't matter.
That's annoying. Anyhow.
Does it make you feel irate?
So I didn't play First Snow because, I need more options in hand than military and monocons. Maybe Gates of the Moon would be nice so I can choose my icon and force a choice on your Starfall.
Yeah.
Shadow City Bastard and Flea Bottom also not pleasing me.
I was quite happy to have the Plaza of Pride in hand. It means that I can discard that Shadow City Bastard that I drew last time with the Dawn. Use that to put something in the Flea Bottom pile. And
the Flea Bottom pile.
The Flea Bottom pile. That's
known by the game rules as the discard pile.
So that's given me an extra option as well. So I now feel like I've got basically 3 ways of getting rid of your icons: 2 Shadow City Bastards and a Starfall. So I'm feeling pretty happy at this point.
Nice. Well, I'm glad one of us is. I'm trying to math out a way to win challenges with military monocons when you have icon control. So I'm thinking, okay, the Mountain will get Starfalled, the Black Ears will get Shadow City Bastard, and then Burned Men will get Shadow City Bastard, Flea Bottom back in, and then triggered again. So I can't win any challenges, much less use the Tower of the Hand. So
No Mountains of the Moon?
Not at this point, I don't believe.
That's a shame. Although I guess pretty much all of your clansmen are still hit by Shadow City Bastard, aren't they? Even if they do get the extra icons with Mountains of the Moon.
Yep.
They're not particularly helpful.
Yeah, I think clansmen, I played it once or twice out of Wars, which seems okay because you've got a variety of plots. You can run money plots, you can run,
Draw, control, whatever you need, right?
But more crucially, you get a setup. You can set up some location which really help you, your tempo at the start of the game. My tempo at the start of this game is severely, hurt by the fact that I don't have a political disaster, which has allowed you to put so much on your back row to give you tempo going forward into the game every single round.
Yeah.
And I can't damage that. I can damage any tempo you set up on the board. So if you just set up, 20 gold worth characters over 2 rounds, then I can damage that. I can first snow it, I can Valar Morghulis it, and hurt your tempo. But I can't hurt the tempo of your backboard. And
the thing is, even if you played one of your marches, I don't really care about any of those going into the discard pile.
You love it.
I've got Flea Bottom. So I don't necessarily need it, but I'm like, yay, aGoT, let's have some fun. And then go to see what else I can do.
What cards are Army and Mercenaries?
So I think we said the deck's got one Dario. Is it my deck that had the Dario? Yeah, it wouldn't be your deck, would it?
Yeah.
I think it's got a Dario. It's got a couple of Begging Brothers.
Begging Brothers can't be fetched with aGoT.
Not Begging Brothers, sorry. Second Sons is what I meant to say.
That's it.
Oh, there they are.
Starfall Cavalry on Army.
Yeah.
But they're only 2 plots, 1 plot in your youth pile. So they wouldn't draw 3 cards, they would only draw 1.
Yeah. So I've gone for the Second Sons because I figure I've not got anything in my Flea Bottom pile yet. I'd like a couple of options at some point.
Flea Bottom pile.
Flea Bottom pile. Say it like it is.
Chub Muffin.
Oh, you don't see many Chub Muffins anymore. A lot of people just don't really play them as much because there's better options.
No, except Greyjoy, who run all the Chub Muffin, including Advisor to the Chub Muffin.
Advisor to the Chub Muffin. I like that.
He took a Western Fiefdoms out of my hand. Oh no.
Hey, you should be happy that that's all I hit. I could have hit your mountain.
True. But
that really
that
useful
matter.
Card.
But I think the issue I'm having here is I'm not drawing enough characters that I can use. I'm drawing lots of other superfluous things like more economy location, events. I think I might have a put to the sword in hand. Things that I can't use. I think I need a slightly higher concentration of characters. There's one.
Then. And I'm thinking, do I just let you do this military challenge? Because then I can draw a card and kill Bastard Daughter and get a card off you.
Yeah. I know this is bad, but I feel like I need to do something.
Yeah, you never know when a comeback's coming, right?
I feel like doing a challenge is also bad because not only do you get a card and I lose a card and I get a power for you to steal later.
I know, I was just like, this is a win-win-win. I'm just going to let you do this.
I kind of feel like we're on camera. I need to do something with the deck.
Yeah, there's me forgetting my Dawn trigger because, I'd not lost very many challenges and forgotten that it's a thing.
That's alright. I'll help you. Oh, hit me raw. No.
I mean, I was quite happy to see that go.
At least it wasn't a character.
True.
So, yeah, you killed the Bastard Daughter. Now, if I'd had Mountains of the Moon out, I could pay 2 to put the Black Ears back into play with another icon.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
And do another challenge. They're 4 strength, so they could feasibly win.
But
then you would Starfall the icon I chose, and it would be irrelevant anyway.
Yeah, either that or Shadow City Bastard it.
Yeah.
Depending on how I was feeling. In what way shall I control you today?
A little bit woo, a little bit way.
I like this Martell Dragon deck.
Yeah, it does seem to be working fine. But like I say, some of that is the strength of the deck in its location based, which a lot of decks don't, have an answer for.
Yeah, I mean, I think more and more decks are running PD at the moment. So there is that risk.
Political disaster for the newer players out there.
But like I say, knowing that yours is a Clansman deck, I know Clansman decks, because I like Clansman decks. I know Clansman decks often have quite a few locations. So playing PD, political disaster, probably isn't the best idea. I went for Marched simply because I might as well keep the pressure on.
I'm going to make it a mission now to build a Clansman deck with political disaster and location light.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it?
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to that.
No.
It's got to be a good deck.
What? You didn't say that.
Going to make it good.
Going to make it good.
So, march into Win or Die. You've played Win or Die. You've got a King's Road and a Fiefdoms and I guess your plot boost. But you're still not going to get that much out.
And Lion Star.
Look at my amazing hand.
Oh yeah, and that's sad.
I think I meant to say, that's great.
That's sad.
Sadly awesome.
Another Fiefdom.
Yep, so you sorted for economy.
I'm making another base for location.
Ooh, you got a Mountains of the Moon yet?
No.
No, not with two neither.
Maybe Harrenhal.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, again, the risk is, you can't guarantee you're going to win anything with the Harrenhal because I'll just
Mountains of the Moon.
Annihilate it.
Yeah, it don't matter because if I ain't got any characters to put into play. Been a while since you discarded a character from my hand.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, all we've seen so far is the Black Ears, which is back in my hand, a discarded Gunther, and a March Burned Man.
Which is the one where you pay 2 to put one into play after someone dies? Is that Black Ears?
Black Ears.
Yeah, so, I mean, the good thing with Harrenhal is you can Harrenhal something in, and then if they die, you can always just pay 2 to put in your Black Ears, so you've got some board presence, maybe.
True. If you need board presence or want board presence at that time. I'm going to marshal him so he just doesn't die lamely to Harrenhal. Save 2 gold, pretend that, I might have a Hemi War. Or might have, characters in hand that...
You've got Jumpy Chef, right?
And if you're dumb enough to let me mountain you, I can put you to the sword. Which isn't really going to be that impactful, to be honest.
No. And I'm not... Well, I mean, I'm pretty daft, but no, I'm not quite dumb enough to let you mountain me.
Oh, I don't know.
Not when I've got the options.
Mountain me? Mountain me? That
yeah,
sounds
you're
really,
going to mountain me?
This is a family-friendly show, Rebecca.
Hey, I specifically say on the YouTube thing that this is not for kids.
Oh, yeah, it's not for kids. So
yeah,
if you
only because I
watching
swear
kids,
a lot.
Stop watching.
Oh, they've been quite good. I've not sworn very much this video.
True.
Well, you've got a put and a hound.
I've got a hound. I don't think he's going to win much.
I've just got too many options, hon.
Yes, you do. Ariane's going to come out. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. There you go, scooping up 5. Got to be the Ariane, right?
Yeah, I expect so. He's going to make it so my hound can't win power challenges, really, because I can Lion Star the hound in. And if you want to defend the power challenge, you can.
You think the hound's going to get a challenge off? Shadow City bastard, honey.
Yeah. If I wanted to do a military with the hound, but I think you'd take his icon with the bastard.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at the moment...
And then he'd get discarded, so I wouldn't be able to recur him.
I think at the moment it's just Starfall on the mountain, and then I've basically got 2 Shadow City bastards that I can use, because I've got one in the flea bottom pile, one on the board. So, I'm going to be able to use the Shadow City bastard twice. So you need to put in at least 4 characters to be able to do any challenges at all.
Yeah. So, GG?
Maybe. You might make an epic comeback.
Not a lot of time left, love.
It would have to be pretty epic. So we've got Harrenhal.
I really wish that you got your wish to play Clansman.
Thanks, honey. Thanks. I'd have played it better than you.
So I jump in Ulf
You
to
do?
increase his strength to 8 and give him a power icon.
Woo, he's a Tricon.
Yeah, but you can deal with that.
Yup.
Oh, look, I can deal with it. Flip.
He's no longer a Tricon.
And gonna die.
Yay!
It's okay. It's okay. I have a Lion Star.
Just in case you hadn't realised that you didn't have any icons, I thought I'd help you.
Thanks, love.
That's alright.
Very, very helpful.
Yeah, you don't have many icons on the side of the board. How do you feel about that?
Very dazed and confused, thank you.
So, what am I going to do next?
Fuck me over in some other way.
Sounds good to me.
Do a challenge, maybe.
Well, I don't want to use Jorah because I feel like, just sit there with his 2 renown on him.
It's my challenges anyway, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, but you're not going to do anything, are you? So, we can ignore what you're doing.
I could jump the hound in here, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. You can defend the power challenge. You can deal with a military because I don't think you care about it. But you probably just flea bottom in Shadow City Bastard, take those icons as well.
Yep.
And then I'd be sad.
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 So I figure I might as well do the intrigue first. Try and get whatever it is in your hand out of your hand. I mean, they're all going anyway at the end, but just reduces your options during this round.
My will to live is gone. I'm even looking at my card really dejectedly.
Aww.
Hey, my arm looks so tanned there.
You do look very tan there, actually. Let's compare. Where'd you get tan from? You've been on some secret holiday without me?
Nah, well, I've been furloughed, haven't I? So I've been sat in the garden. Just tanning. I mean, working hard outside on the fences and gardening.
Uh-huh. We know how hard you work at home, honey.
Thank you. Oh, Lion Star.
Yeah, so I'd quite like to win this power, seeing as you've actually got a power to take. You put in the hound. I'm not going to let you use him.
I like that you tap the card aggressively. He may not have icons.
Well, look, I'm just keeping things nice and clear for the camera,
For the viewers at home who have stopped watching 5 minutes ago when they realised that they were the winner. That might have been more than 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'd say about 20.
I know Paul will be watching, maybe crying, but definitely watching. He'll be disappointed, I think. I think he would have liked his deck to have a stronger showing, but against icon control, it's hard because icons are very important.
Yeah, I generally do think that there's not much else you could have really done with this. I just think I had the perfect setup, and it was a really good matchup for the Martell against your deck.
Yeah, if I could handle your locations, if there was a political disaster in the deck, when I had few locations, I could have played that, and you had about 6 or 7, would have hurt your tempo a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to lay waste. The only thing I can think is if you lay wasted the Starfall.
Yep.
But you've not. I don't think you've drawn one.
No.
So obviously it's a moot point. But yeah, if you had found that one-off lay waste, 2 lay wastes, isn't it? If you found a lay waste to get rid of the Starfall is a one-off in the deck, and that would have made it a little bit easier. You'd have been able to use the mountain, because I wouldn't be able to control that, and that might have helped.
Yep. Feasible.
The hound is going because he was line starred in. But you put the black ears in when Ulf died to the military claim, so he gets to stay.
Yeah, Ulf was thrown in with Harrenhal, so he was dying anyway.
Yeah.
Haven't you won yet? Jesus.
No. Unfortunately not. But luckily for me, you keep winning DOMs, so you keep giving me stuff to take.
Well, that's my mountain of gold. My 2 gold this round. Yeah. Lovely. I didn't realise your deck was a rush deck, winning in 4 turns.
Yes, it's Martell. Of course it's a rush deck. That's what they do, right?
The long plan, which you win the game quickly so you can spend even longer celebrating.
Yay! I've gone for Hardie.
Nice.
Yeah, doesn't affect me.
That's my
Affects
tempo.
you.
You got the when you die into the siege preparation combination.
Which is always a good combo.
It's alright. I think it's much better.
However, that's your draw.
Iron Bank and a location. Not helpful. So again, more characters required. I can see.
Makes sense. So I think it's fair to say that you were just very unlucky in that matchup and I was very lucky in my draw and setup. But let's just go through the pros and cons of the deck, shall we?
Sure.
Okay. So just having a little look then at the Lanni deck. I mean, I think the first thing we want to say is Clansman.
Is that what we want to say? Clap, 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 Clansman.
Pretty much. That might be what I want to say. I like Clansman. So, yeah, we really like the theme. It's nice to see things a little bit different. Obviously, there's been a lot of sort of Lanni Shadows decks and Lanni Assault and stuff like that. So it's nice just to have a good old-fashioned Clansman deck.
It would be nicer if they had more and better Clansman cards.
Yeah.
There haven't been many released for a long while.
Hint, hint, Conclave. You know, just if anyone's watching.
Do you think that Conclave watch our videos?
There might be someone that watches it.
Probably not. Anyhow, yeah.
Someone can pass it on.
So what did we like? I quite like the addition of the Regent's Guard. That works nicely because if you Harren haul a big dude in like Gregor, or him you roar someone in, Tyrion, whatever, you can use them and then Regent's Guard them back to your hand before they die. So that's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't unfortunately see any during the game, but I think there's 3 in the deck. So yeah, I think there's just maybe a little bit of bad luck not to see them. But yeah, certainly having those in the deck is very nice. We like that combination. You got the Hound and Lion Star or the Hound and Harrenhal. These also work really well. There are only 2 hounds in the deck.
Yeah, I think 3 could be worth it.
Yeah.
Because the combo is just good. I mean, you can use the Hound 3 times in one phase if you use them for both and can win challenges.
Yeah, so maybe an extra Hound would be nice. Control, you've got some attempts on control of locations with Pyromancer's Cache and Lay Waste.
Yeah, I think the deck obviously identified an issue with opponents' locations and the lack of interaction with them. So, you know, Paul's obviously put in a way to do something with them. Yeah,
I mean, we did have a little chat about this and we were thinking maybe possibly instead of Pyromancer's Cache, might be nice to use Put to the Torch instead.
Yeah, if you're hoping to get Put to the Sword off,
then
it kind of makes sense to use the same trigger.
So yeah, that's a possible change. Maybe like a cache for a Put to the Torch. Draw wise, there's loads of draw in the plots, especially. You've got Counting Coppers, Siege Prep, Win or Die. You've also, if you can find him and get him out, got Tyrion. Although with Tyrion, obviously you sort of have to choose between those triggers. So, you know, he's an option for draw, but quite often you like to bring the clansman back to increase acclaim and things.
Another option could be Fever Dreams, the attachment. That way, when your opponent uses the character with the attachment on, you draw cards. It's a good way of disincentivizing the opponent to use that character as well.
All I thought then was Fever Dreams on Euron with Silence sounds amazing.
You use your own, I draw cards. Shame it runs out. It's a bestow card.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the one where you put it on and you just draw cards? Is there not one where you just put it on and you draw cards, there's no bestow? Am I just imagining that?
Let's move on.
Plot-wise, Fallen from Favour, always good in a Hollow Hill deck, right? Can't really go wrong with that. You're not going to have a setup, so it's not like you're going to have to ever chuck anyone. And with a Clanny deck, there's a good chance you don't have characters on the board anyway. So if for whatever reason you decide to choose your Fallen from Favour a bit later in the game, you're generally alright, I think. Is everything like that? Things we weren't as sure about. There's 3 copies of Tower of the Hand. We think that 1, maybe 2 would be fine.
Yeah, it doesn't really actively help you unless you're set up, and it's quite difficult in the Hollow Hill deck to get set up. So, yeah, I think 1 copy is enough.
Yeah, so if we took 2 copies of the Tower of the Hand out, we were thinking maybe an extra Hound, as we mentioned before, would be nice. Then maybe a Black Ears or Burn Men. Both of these are non-unique, so it doesn't matter too much if they die. And Black Ears is really quite cool. Like if you get someone who's died, you can pay 2 and chuck them in, and it's a nice sort of big bod for 2 gold basically.
You can kill your own dudes with Shagger and then just pay 2 to put them in yourself.
Pretty sure I've done that before.
Either way, you get icons. But I think main thing we didn't like was it felt like there were too few characters. Or maybe they just weren't enough impactful characters in my hand at that time. So we know the old clansman deck, they used to like running like Cersei and the Mountain and Tywin. They run some one-off big ones that you can Harrow and Hall in and not worry too much about it. But they're impactful for that one round.
Yeah. So maybe like a big sort of impact character, as they say, might be a good shout. We'll have a little look at the Martell deck then. So the Martell Dragon deck, well, that's actually a lot more fun than we thought, right?
Yeah.
I know you're a massive Martell fan now. You're basically a Martell loyalist.
I'm a Fartell man boy.
So we actually really like this deck. The interactions between the different characters are really nice. There's a lot of things that just work really well together. Just going through control. There's loads of nice bits of control in there. You've got the control in the plots. You've got like March and Morgullis and Dohyrus. So, all of these are ways to control different types of decks. So if you're up against Greyjoy Biggs, you can play Dohyrus. If you're against, a deck that doesn't have too many cards on the board at once, playing March is a nice way to sort of control the ones that they do keep. Morgullis, obviously, for those that like to flood out with the non-uniques and things.
I mean, basically, you just want to keep the board as small as possible because then all of your control works so much easier. Which
is what we saw in the game, right?
Yeah.
We also have the controlling locations as well. So Starfall, obviously, it's only a one-off. I don't know if I'd be tempted to have an extra because it was really good in the game we just saw, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Flea Bottom is the restricted card in this deck, and it works really well with the characters that are involved. Shadow City Bastard, of course, being a really annoying, stupid card, but actually, when you're playing it with Flea Bottom, it's just like,
No, it's not, Rebecca.
It is a little bit. And then, of course, you've got characters that help with the control as well. So Ariane means that you can chuck things in and out, and obviously you've got characters that have effects when they come in. So things like Ario, Dorish Spy, and Nymeria can do things when she comes in. So, using Ariane to help with these kind of control options too is really fun.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to say about the control side of things?
No, not really.
No, you're good. Location-wise then, yeah, I mean, I think there was like a nice range of the locations.
Yeah, it might hurt if someone played Political Disaster against it, because there are a lot of locations.
Yeah, that's the one sort of downside, like sort of big downside to this deck. If you've got a deck that's running Political Disaster, as you say, or has decent location control, then that can be quite sad.
This is Martell in a nutshell, isn't it? They like to play the long game, and to play the long game, you need to make sure you've got the backboard to sustain that.
Yeah, but if you come up against something like, Bob, who just says, "Well, you're not going to put characters out, you can't stand your locations," then suddenly your Flea Bottom and your Plaza and your Starfall are all a bit naff.
That is true.
Draw, plenty draw. I mean, Dawn is always going to be great, right?
Yeah, Dawn, Coppers, Starfall, Cavalry.
Yeah, you got enough options, I think.
Secret Schemes.
Yeah.
There's 3 of that in the deck. I do like the whole Secret Scheme. Play you win or you die. Get to the taxation phase, and if you've got the Water Garden, you can kneel the Water Garden in the taxation phase and then play Secret Scheme. So you can draw loads of cards straight afterwards. So that's a nice little combo.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because then you can do that and you know what you're getting in hand, so you know what kind of plot to play.
Yep.
Good thinking, Batman.
It means you don't need to use Siege Prep.
Yeah. Yeah, you can save it for a bit later if needed. But win or die into Siege Prep is quite a nice little combination normally. And then finally, just looking at plots. Again, as we mentioned, so the plots have got a nice sort of kind of range. It's quite aggressive. But you do have good options in there as well. You'll normally see, at the gates probably is going to be your first opening plot, just to sort of stabilise that economy. And then afterwards, you'll maybe be going into something like counting coppers if you're pretty well set, or you might have a march to the wall or something like that. If you need to play an early reset, that's fine because you got another one. And then with the march, that works really nice with your flea bottom. Also means that if you're playing out a venomous blade onto something, so you play it out onto one of your weaker characters, like your lower cost characters, kill something on their side, march that character next turn, that's in your flea bottom pile, and you get your venomous blade back so you can play it out again. So it's a nice little combination. With regards to things we didn't like, there wasn't much. As mentioned, political disaster could be an issue. Patience, maybe not needed.
I don't think it's needed, but it is quite nice to have.
It's nice to have.
Bring a character back to your hand so you can reuse it again. Even better if it's an ambush or one that you'd like to put in with Ariane.
Yeah, I feel just like an extra character might be fine.
Really? I think it's okay, but whatever.
Anyway.
Events, Dance the Dragon. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary, but it is nice to sometimes just have that character back in hand if you haven't got your flea bottom.
Yeah, maybe a second Dario or another second Sons might be nice instead of that. But anyway, so let's round that off then. So congratulations to Connor for the Martell deck. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by going to patreon.com/The White Walkers. And we'll be back with game 4 as soon as we can.
Goodbye.
Thanks guys. Bye.